In the last few months, Xpeng has broke its sales records in China, but this is not about to stop. In fact, it's almost guaranteed that this will continue over the next 2 months of the year. And Xpeng sales, I think, are going to shock a lot of people because it's estimated they have at least 60,000 pre-orders just sitting there waiting to be delivered. Xpeng's sales strategy, it's clearly working. Xpeng have just broken their all-time sales record. They now have the Mona 03, which is, to be honest, probably the best value EV you can buy in China at all. I think most people would probably agree with that. It starts at about $16,800 and it's a sedan the size of a Tesla Model 3. It's a phenomenal car, value for money wise. I really think if you can think of something better value than the Xpeng Mona 03, let me know in the comments, guys. I actually can't. I've thought about this for a little while. I cover the Chinese automotive industry. I look at all the cars being on sale there. The new Zeekr X had their price reduced by 25%. I mean, there's so many different cars coming to market. Incredible value. The value is just getting better and better and better all the time. But I think this is the best value car. And clearly the Chinese market agrees with me because this sales strategy from Xpeng has been absolutely working. I mean, you're looking at, they have massive numbers of pre-orders and they're breaking sales records. Xpeng have turned things around. Now, you might be thinking, I'm just saying this because I just bought an Xpeng G6, which I did. If you want to buy one, you can. I'll put a link in the description so you can get a free charger. Honestly, am I saying it because I bought a new Xpeng G6? I don't know. I mean, not consciously. I don't think so. I'm just reporting the facts here. Let's have a look at the facts. I'll try to be as objective as possible. Just stick to the numbers, the data here that I'm seeing in front of me. By the way, I will be able to test. Don't tell anyone. I'm meant to keep this a secret apparently, but I can't. I can't. Sorry. The new Xpeng Mona 03. I will be able to test that. It's coming to Australia. I don't know if it's going to be on sale in Australia, but one of them's coming, so I can test it here in Australia. I can tell you actually how good it is. Now, remember, it's half the price of a Tesla Model 3. Half the price. That's insane. Not in Australia, but in China, it's half the price. Now, you can see why this vehicle is selling so incredibly well. Keep in mind, Xpeng are the only car company that I'm aware of that really do everything Tesla does. When I mean everything, I mean the Xpeng G6, it's the same size as a Model Y. It has gigacastings front and rear, a structural battery pack. I mean, they've thought of everything that Tesla does. They've gone and looked at, they took the Tesla Model Y apart years before Toyota even knew the Model Y existed. I'm joking, but and then they basically re-engineered it. The Xpeng G6, that's one of the key reasons why I bought it, because it's like a re-engineered Tesla Model Y. But getting back to Xpeng sales, Xpeng, their sales are up 20%. But the thing is here, I mean, the company did look, to be fair, like it was struggling a little bit earlier this year. Have a look at their sales, the start of the year here. They were growing, but not really. I mean, look at Xpeng sales back in, say, December of 2021. They were way up. Things were going great. Then they had a bad month. Then they were way up, and then they were down. They were way up. But they were doing quite well back there in 2021. And now that's when I purchased Xpeng shares. And after that, the company, it hit a bad patch. It did. But since the investment from the Volkswagen Group and the kind of release of these new models from the company, things have been turned around completely. Look at these sales here, guys. Xpeng is seeing strong sales for the last few months in a row. It doesn't look like the kind of peaky craziness we saw in 2021, and it's certainly pretty significant sustained growth. Xpeng's deliveries were actually 24,000 or 23,917. Let's round off to 24,000 in October. That's up 20% from the 20,000 in the same period last year and up 12% from the 21,352 record in September. So September this year was their all-time record, and they've just gone and beaten that number by a pretty significant margin, by 20%. So this is Xpeng's all-time record in sales, but they're sitting on tens of thousands of pre-orders for the Mona 03 because why wouldn't people order it? I mean, you'd have to have... Let's just do a comparison. And I know people might unsubscribe by me saying this, but honestly, if you could choose between a BYD Seal for $10,000 more, or $8,000 more. No, I think it's about $10,000 more, or the Xpeng Mono 03, I don't think you could justify spending an extra $10,000 US dollars. You're talking another 15,000 Australian dollars for a car that's basically the same thing, right? But I mean, in some ways, Xpeng's technology is a bit better than BYD. I mean, they have faster charging and have higher energy density batteries. So yeah, anyway, looking at sales numbers, clearly Xpeng is on the rise. Now, Xpeng launched the Mono M03 electric sedan on the 27th of August. There's 3 variants of it. The base model is 16,800. Then there's a mid-spec model, which is about 19,000. Then there's a more luxurious version, which is around 23,000 US dollars I'm talking here. So the Mono M03 is the least expensive Xpeng model you can buy. And like I said, it's half the price of a Tesla Model 3. On the 30th of August, Xpeng said on the first day of the Chengdu Auto Show, they received 30,000 firm orders within 48 hours of it being launched. So they could have 50, 60,000 orders by now. Likely they do. 517 of them in September, the following month after it went on sale. In October, they've just delivered 10,000. So they've still got a lot of back orders for this vehicle. So we can expect their sales to continue to go up in November. And a couple of people emailed me and they said, hey, thanks Sam for the videos you've done about Xpeng. I just bought their stock and it went up by 20%. So I don't actually know who these people were. Just, guys who had bought. I don't remember telling people to buy the stock. I don't think I said that, did I? But they did. And so that's gone well for them. So guys, that's good to hear. So on the 7th of October, Xpeng launched the P7 Plus. And the P7 Plus is about the price of a Tesla Model 3, but it is way bigger. It's significantly bigger than a Tesla Model S, in fact. And it has like a sort of a coupe shape at the rear. So the boot space is kind of more like a Tesla Model Y. That thing is just incredibly good car for the price. The pre-sale price, I believe, was 210,000 yen. So that's just like 31,000 US dollars. It's incredible value. The P7 Plus is considered to be a technological masterpiece in a lot of ways in terms of it uses Tesla-like full self-driving. It has vision only. So they've basically gone to a vision only system, and apparently reports say that their self-driving in China works extremely well. Now, I've tested it outside of China. Well, I haven't tested, they don't actually offer full self-driving. They have like their sort of autopilot version, so their scaled down version here in Australia. And I think it works relatively well in Europe. In Australia, it's sort of not that great. They're working on it, and I'm sure they'll improve it. I'll let you know once I see improvements to the system. I'll let you know how it works. And that at this point in time, yeah, it's not great. It works fine on freeways, but other than that, it's not great. You wouldn't use it to drive around town or anything like that. But unfortunately, a lot of that's just because of government regulations. They make you remove certain features and systems and say, no, it's not legal until we say it is in 2045 and that kind of thing. But either way, the technology in China is reported to be extremely good. Now, the P7 Plus, apparently they actually got 30,000 orders within 1 hour and 48 minutes, right? So this is the more expensive car, twice the price of the Mono 03, and they got 30,000 orders in 1 hour and 48 minutes. This would suggest to me that Xpeng has at least 60,000 pre-orders of their different models of cars. Seems very likely to me we're going to see records broken next month, as in the month of November. My estimate for sales in November would be 30,000, and my estimate for sales in December would be 35,000. And the reason I'm keeping these, fairly low on the lowish numbers, still records for Xpeng. The reason I'm keeping them low is just for production capacity. I don't know if they have the capacity to ramp up really, really fast. But I think next year is going to be a fantastic year for Xpeng. I believe they really are out of the woods. That investment from the Volkswagen Group really did help them. And it certainly gave people the impression in China as well. I mean, it's like another car company coming in and saying, we want your technology. And the Volkswagen Group bought their old technology. It wasn't even their new technology. So that's the cool thing here. I think a lot of Chinese people have sort of gone, well, okay, well, they're talking, other legacy automakers are coming in and buying into this car company. They're saying they're good. It's giving people a lot more confidence to purchase their vehicles. That's part of the reason. The other reason is just that they are incredible value. And I've been making that comment now for 4 years since I started the channel.